Across the United States, hospitals are seeing a terrifying shift in liver health. It is a condition that used to be strictly associated with decades of heavy alcohol abuse. But today, doctors are diagnosing advanced liver disease in patients as young as 10 years old. These patients have never touched a drop of alcohol in their lives. Yet, their liver tissue is showing massive amounts of fat accumulation and early-stage scarring. Looking at this cellular data from a clinical microbiology perspective, the culprit isn't a viral pathogen. It is a very specific, perfectly legal ingredient hiding in almost every American pantry. Today, we are exposing the exact biological pathway of this ingredient and why the human body was never designed to process it. To understand what is happening, we have to look closely at how our cells process energy. When you eat standard carbohydrates, like a bowl of rice or a baked potato, your digestive system breaks it down into glucose. Glucose is the universal fuel of life. Every single cell in your body, from your brain to your muscles, can use it. Because the workload is shared by your entire body, your liver barely has to lift a finger. But modern processed food relies heavily on a different molecule, isolated fructose. Fructose tastes incredibly sweet, making it highly addictive. But inside the human body, it operates under entirely different biological rules. Your brain cells cannot use it. Your muscle cells cannot use it. In fact, almost no cell in your body can use fructose for direct energy. There is only one organ equipped to handle the burden, the liver. When you drink a large soda or a concentrated fruit juice, you are sending a massive, liquid wave of fructose directly into your bloodstream. Because your other cells reject it, 100% of that fructose is routed straight to your liver. This creates an immediate metabolic bottleneck. The liver's mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cells, become completely overwhelmed by the sudden flood. When the liver cannot process the sugar fast enough, it resorts to an emergency backup plan. It triggers a biological process called de novo lipogenesis. This simply means making new fat. The liver systematically takes the excess fructose and converts it into raw lipid droplets. Without the natural fiber that you would find in whole fruit to slow things down, the liver is forced to store this newly created fat directly inside its own tissue. This biological reaction is nearly identical to the way the liver processes ethanol from alcohol. Which is why a daily habit of drinking sugary sodas can mirror the liver damage of a daily drinking habit. The most dangerous part of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is that it is completely silent. You cannot feel your liver accumulating fat. There are no pain receptors inside the organ. But over years, these fat droplets trigger chronic cellular inflammation. Healthy, smooth liver tissue slowly becomes inflamed, eventually progressing to fibrosis. Fibrosis is permanent scar tissue that physically strangles the liver, shutting down its ability to filter toxins. But there is a massive silver lining to this biological crisis. The human liver is one of the most resilient, regenerative organs in the entire body. Unlike end-stage cirrhosis, early diet-induced fatty liver is highly reversible. By removing the liquid fructose from your diet, you immediately relieve the metabolic bottleneck. Once the overwhelming flood of sugar stops, the liver naturally begins to burn away the stored fat. It clears out the droplets and heals the cellular inflammation on its own. The first and most powerful step you can take today is eliminating liquid sugars and focusing on whole, high-fiber foods. If you want a complete, science-backed list of the top foods that actively support liver regeneration, check out the free guide I've linked in the description below. Take control of your metabolic health today. Subscribe for more clinical insights, and I'll see you in the next video.